Straighten the tie. What's going on? Dang it, I hate when I do that. Stick my finger with my own pen. Oh, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? How was your Tuesday? Hopefully you had a good day. It was cold. It was so cold down here. We had a high of 90 yesterday. It was a record high. And today, the high was just, let's see, I want to say 66. Let me check. The high today was 65. We went from 90 degrees yesterday to 65 degrees today. Woo! It's a 25-degree swing. And not to mention, that doesn't take into account the wind chills. We had some really cold wind chills earlier today. This morning, we had some areas down into the low to mid-30s, which, you know, I mean, look, here in the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, what I'm saying to you right now is probably laughable, right? Given how cold it's been up there for you guys. But for South Florida, I mean, think about it. You guys come down here to escape that. And that's how cold it's getting here now. So it's just a crazy. You know, I had a friend of mine. His name is Cliff Higby. He runs the Higby's Bait and Tackle there in Fortescue, South Jersey, Cumberland County. A nice little small fishing community. A lot of, you know, anglers. They get on the beach and they cast the line out. They fish, go after stripers and sometimes drum and all that. They'll take the bigger boats out too on the bay. And he was telling me that this, you know, first of all, you should see the Delaware Bay. I mean, the ice goes out. It's ice. It goes out about 3/4 of a mile. I mean, that's how far out it goes. He was telling me that it reminds him of an old-fashioned, like, late 70s through mid-80s type winter. You know, just the kind that we haven't seen in a long time. And so, you know, he was telling me that. He showed me some pictures, too, of, like, the creek. There's, like, a little creek that runs, you know, you've got the bay, and then you got these little channels where the boats kind of come in and out. And the ice, you're starting to get blocks. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of craziness going on that you just haven't seen in a while. It's like a good old fashioned winter, and my mom was telling me that too. You see mountains of snow piled up in parking lots, like just the good old days, and it's kind of neat. Now, the dangerous part of this is the Arctic air that's coming in now. We've got reports of over 40 dead. That's across the country, from like just east of El Paso, Texas, all the way up to New England. So. We're talking about most of the country here. From this storm alone, 40 dead, over 1 million at one point lost power. 1 million people. Thousands and thousands of flights were canceled and out of service. And we still, even today, there's all kinds of flight problems right now in the airports. And today's Tuesday. The storm hit on Sunday. So, I mean, think about that. We're 2 days removed from that storm, and we're still looking at tons of flights and even flight delays and even cancellations. Just shows you how impactful an event it was. 23,000 flight cancellations. I have a list here from Friday to Monday. 23,000. Also, what was interesting too, and I'm waiting for everybody. It's 7:32. I'm going to wait till like 7:35. I want everybody to get on here, so you know, we can just. I don't have to repeat myself. We can do it all in one shot, and then we'll get into all the scenario stuff. Another thing that we were looking at here: 56% of the United States right now covered in snow. That's the second highest in 20 years for the state. I mean, it's a pretty remarkable turn of events considering last week we only had about 26% of the country covered in snow. So the footprint, you know, again, it's stretched from just east of El Paso, Texas, all the way through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, and then into the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And I mean, it snowed everywhere. and those of you that did change the ice, you got snow on the front end, boom, then it went over to ice. So the bottom line is there's a humongous, when you look at the country, there's a humongous snow footprint out there right now. And what the snow does, the key to the snow, all right, is what it does is it keeps the cold air that rushes over it cold. Think about it. Cold air will modify if it's over a bare ground due to friction. If you don't have that snow on the ground, then you're you know, preventing that friction warming from taking place. And that's what happens when you start getting all this snow on the ground like this. Cold air stays cold. It gets colder. Remember, the nights are still long, too. So, I mean, it's just like, I mean, think about it. Why is the pole always so cold? Well, one, there's no snow, right? Or no daylight, right? It's just dark. And then two, it's a tundra, right? It's all snow. So cold air gets colder and colder and colder, and that's exactly the process going on across the eastern half of the United States right now. New York City, all right, one more minute and we'll get into it. New York City, right now projecting a 12-day stretch with temperatures below freezing. 12 days. All right, that's going to end up being, if it verifies, it's going to end up being top 10 longest in recorded history. The longest was 16 days, a 16-day stretch with temperatures stayed above freezing. Right now, New York City, they're projecting 12 straight days. That's pretty impressive, especially for, think about it, it's a major metro area. You know how, like, let's just say it's a calm night, right? You know how the city is always warmer than the suburbs because of the urban heat island. We're talking about the city, 12 straight days, nights, days, everything below freezing. That's very, very impressive for New York. Chicago is a little bit different. They get really, really cold, but New York, that's pretty impressive. Okay, that's all the, one more stat that I got for you too. Thought this was kind of interesting. Philadelphia, snow and a little bit of ice, a little bit of sleet, picked up 9.3 inches with this past storm. Last year, all winter, you picked up 8.1. This one storm surpassed that. Now, what's interesting here with this next storm that we're watching is there's a couple of scenarios that we're monitoring. And the point that I want to get across here is, remember that, for example, the Philadelphia area, it's not just Philly, okay? It's the Jersey Shore, it's the Lehigh Valley, it's the Poconos, it's Delaware. You know, Baltimore, it's the same thing. The television market, it's not just Baltimore. It's the eastern shores of Maryland. It's areas north and west. You go down to D.C., same thing. There's an area, right? New York City, you know, it also takes into account northern New Jersey, southern Connecticut, or western Connecticut, southern upstate New York. You know, it's an area. And so what I'm thinking might end up happening here. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
What I'm thinking might end up happening, there's two scenarios. We talked about this earlier. One off the coast, one up the coast, one out to sea. But what I'm starting to think might end up happening here is you might get a situation where maybe Philly, I don't know, maybe you don't see much of anything at all. Maybe a few snow showers or something like that, maybe a dusting. The Jersey Shore might end up getting a couple inches, you know, and then the Carolinas might get blasted. New England might get blasted, you know. There's going to be, it's a big storm, so the track is going to be critical as to who sees what. Just the slightest shift, and that could end up meaning the difference between nothing at all and several inches. Several inches. All right, let's get into it. Got a pretty good audience now. Kate, you have yourself a good night.
Yeah, I'm not leaving just yet, but
okay.
I'm already in my little warmer jacket here.
And this is West Palm Beach, by the way. You look like you're in Boston.
Yeah, so I've lived down here 30 years. So when it gets below 70, it feels cold to me. I know
below
it's
70.
Weird. I know it's weird. And I grew up outside.
People up there are going to be laughing at you right now.
The thing is, I grew up outside of Cleveland and Chicago.
So then you're used to it.
I know all about cold weather, which is why I'm in West Palm Beach. But
how did it feel out there this morning to you?
Chilly, but the sun felt warm.
Yeah, the sun felt good.
But yeah, my heart goes out to all everybody up north with the real winter weather.
Yeah, it's a good point. Hang in there.
And Chris, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to snow.
Well, thank you.
Listen to Chris.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, we seriously. I mean, listen. In all jokes aside, everybody knows I love the snow and the cold, but this kind of cold, I mean, it's already taken 40 lives. You know what I mean? So this is getting pretty serious. So I won't joke around much about it anymore. We would like to see some warmer temperatures. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to break it down for you. Two different models, two different scenarios, and then I'm going to show you which way that I'm leaning right now. What you're looking at here is the GFS Ensemble package. See where it says GFS Ensemble? Remember what that means. It takes the GFS model, it runs it 30 different times, slightly adjusting the initiation process on each member, then running it to give you different spreads. All right, and then you take the blend. That's the idea of the ensemble. So here's the GFS's version. Remember we were talking about this yesterday. Here comes you can clearly see it. All right, northern branch of the jet, bang, right there. Southern branch of the jet. The phasing process when they come together. Here's what they're doing today. Bang, see it? See it? And see it hug the coast. And then come, see it? You know what, I'm going to put this a little bit closer. I want you guys to see this. Here they come. Two pieces of energy right there. Bang. Phase. Come right up. Okay? That right there is the GFS. The European is going to show a little bit different of a scenario. Watch the two phases again. Now they phase, but one thing you notice is it's not quite as deep. And then you see the difference? That is, what time is that? It's 18 Sunday. Let me go back. Let me go back to 18. All right. 18 Sunday. Oh, stop that. Sorry. All right. There's 18. That's 18Z. 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. That's the GFS. European. See the difference? And it's not a lot, but it makes a huge, huge difference. GFS. European. That's about maybe it's about maybe 100 to 150 miles east. It's not a lot, but that could be the difference between a foot of snow and nothing, or a foot of snow and an inch at the Jersey Shore, you know, an inch or two. So there it is again. GFS, European. All right, here's a look at the models. We're going to start you with let's do the GFS first. Okay, this is the one that came up. Remember, blue is snow, green is rain. All right, there it is. All right, now it has the heaviest. These are the 2 to 3, maybe even 4 inch an hour snowfall rates. It has it off the coast. But again, Philly, it's got light snow, and it's got steady accumulating snow at the Jersey Shore, and then, of course, down here. See? There it is right there. Tries to hug it, and then it goes out. European, on the other hand, just wants to go. Look at it. It's still snowing at the Jersey Shore on the European, and it's accumulating. See that? That's snow at the Jersey Shore, Saturday night and Sunday. See it? That's accumulating through South Jersey. That's the European model. It is a massive storm. So let me go back. Here's a European. Here's a GFS. All right. Bye. European shows this. It's got about 2 inches for the shore points. From Ocean City, Maryland, it's got 4. It's got like 2 to 3 in like Bethany Beach and Dewey. It's got maybe an inch or 2. Cape May, an inch or 2. Atlantic City, 2. Seaside Heights, 2. Maybe an inch in Millville. Maybe 1.4 in like Belmar in northern New Jersey. It's got the Carolinas. Look at the hit down here. This is the European. It's got 15 to 20 inches of snow in North Carolina. All right. I think it's pretty good because I'm seeing a lot of ensemble and operational model support with the Carolina hit. Where in the Carolinas? Is this too far west? Is it confined to coastal areas? That still is up in the air. But both the models agree, and their ensemble packages agree, that the Carolinas are ground zero for this, and they're going to end up getting walloped. There's the GFS. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is overdone. I don't think anybody is seeing 30 inches of snow. So just, you know, again, here's the Euro with the 15 to 20. And I think that's a fair assessment of where we could be, you know, if the storm is where it's tracking. So, but the point of showing you this, remember the GFS came up a little bit. And look at the heavier totals, okay? Now, again, I think all of this, I think is overdone because I don't think it's coming up like this. But I do like to back this up just a little bit, okay? So I do like a 3 to 6 or a 2 to 4 down at the shore right now, okay? And then we'll see how close to the city it gets. That's right now. That's what I like. Does it mean it'll happen? No. But that's what I like right now. So there's what the GFS shows. There's what the European. GFS has 3 inches of snow in Philly. European doesn't have a single flake. Again, I'm focused on the Jersey Shore right now because it looks like with both models, the shore is going to get hit. All right, with both models, Southern Delmarva is going to get hit. All right, it's just a matter of how much. European has 2 to 4. And then, of course, this ridiculousness ain't happening. But let's say maybe 5 to 10 or 6 to 12, something like that. And both of them have the North Carolina area getting clobbered. All right, so I think right now, those are the two scenarios. It is a monster storm. And it's why, look what happened up there, guys. Look what happened. Now, everybody got this past storm right. I looked at everybody's forecast, my own, social media forecasters, all the news stations up in Baltimore and DC and Philly and New York. I looked at them all. There was like 12 of them I looked at. And they all nailed this thing. Nobody was steps above anybody else. Everybody pretty much had it the same. I mean, if somebody had 6 to 8, maybe someone else had 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 or so. You know what I mean? There was just little, but everybody pretty much nailed it. It was an easy storm, honestly. The hard part was trying to figure out what the changeover to ice. But look what happened the weekend before that. Everybody in the Philadelphia market bombed that storm. Everybody got it wrong. And I mean, they were talking about, one of the forecasters up there said snow showers. They got 6 inches of snow. And that all happened literally the day before, or a day and a half before. So it was a day to a day and a half before. That's how quick things can change right now. So I know I'm not going to give up on two different scenarios here. It's Tuesday. I will not throw the towel in on this thing until, if it's showing this, if both models start correcting out to sea, I won't touch it until Thursday. It's just, there's this pattern that we're in right now. There's so much Arctic air, and Arctic air is just, it's full of energy. And just the slightest thing can wind up shifting it inland or pushing it out. You got to remember, some of these upper level features, they can act like a vacuum and absorb it and bring it towards the coast. Or they can act like a game of billiards and bump it off the coast and out to sea. It really just is a matter of how these things interact with each other. So for now, I'm going to play the two scenarios here. Unless, if I wake up tomorrow morning and both those models are so far off the coast, and then Thursday morning they're showing the same thing, okay, then it might be time to throw in the towel. But right now, I like the two scenario. I like the one out to sea and the one up the coast. But even the one that's out to sea shows an accumulating snowfall for the Jersey Shore and the Delaware beaches, as well as Long Island and Delmarva. And then, of course, the one up the coast, wallops quite a few people. So, okay, last thing, real quick, we'll make this short today. I want to show you guys this. This is the ensemble spread. Okay? So remember, each L that you see on here, remember there's going to be, see, it's the ECMWF ensemble. Each L represents where one of the members thinks low pressure is going to develop. Okay? So here, this is 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. All right? So in other words, this model is saying low pressure could form anywhere in here. Remember, the idea is to take the blend. Right now, the blend would be right here, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. There's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? Remember, the closer the low is to the coast, the more snow is going to get kicked back as we get into Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Well, look what, obviously the low is out. This isn't right. None of this is right, okay? But this absolutely could be right. And if it is the low here or is it here? That's a big difference. That's about 100 and 150 miles. Obviously, if it's closer to the coast, more snow is going to be here. All right, that is, what time are we here? There we go. See it? It's 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Now, the bulk of the lows are here. But look at how many, see this little color right here? Look how many lows are on the western side of that, closer to the coast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 50 are still very, very close to the coast. You can take these and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can dismiss every one of these. None of these are going to be right. All right, it's going to be in here somewhere. So now, instead of, the 50, you can take about 11 of them and knock them right out, because none of these are verifying. Okay? So now it's out of 40. That means out of 40, you've got 11 here that are close to the coast. What's the percentage? 11 out of 40. That's 1 in 4, right? Or something like that. You know, see about 25, 30% that this thing could wind up spreading a pretty good snowfall. Okay. Again, same thing. This is 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Here's where the lowest pressures are forecasted to be. But look at all the L's on the western side of it. You get what I'm saying? And then it pulls away. So, you know, by no means is this a slam dunk. There's still quite a bit of uncertainty on where the track of this thing is going to be. Right now, I am leaning towards the European because the model just is far superior to the GFS, the physics involved in it. So, you know, I'm leaning that way, but you just saw what the operational was showing. The operational was showing 2 to 4 inches of snow at the Jersey Shore. So still part of the Philadelphia and the Delaware beaches and Long Island. And then, of course, it showed the clobbering down there in North Carolina and Southeast Virginia. So, you know, still got to watch this thing. I was just asked about the AI model. Let me show you the AI. That's a good question. I have not looked at that. Let's look at it together. I mean, wow. Look at this thing. This is the AI. This is the European AI model. Look at this. Look at the wind. Remember, you're looking at isobars, lines of equal pressure. The tighter the lines, the stronger the wind. You've got pressures to 972. I mean, what is that equivalent to a category 1 or 2? Let me see that. Is that a category? Hold on. Bear with me for 1 second. Can't remember if that's a category 1 or a category 2 hurricane. Pressures in a hurricane. All right. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. Okay. Wow. What were the pressures in that thing again? Holy smokes. Wow. That's a category, that's a very strong category 1 hurricane. That's how strong this thing is. The pressure drops. It's equivalent to a very strong category 1, almost category 2 storm. That's how strong the winds are going to be. Now, that's over the open waters of the Atlantic, okay? So, but I'm just saying that is how strong this is as it bottoms out. It goes down to 970 millibars. Wow. Here it comes together. Bang, bang, pieces right there. All right, see how this is hugging the coast? Still hugging it, waiting for the upper level piece of energy. They catch up right here. All right, that's 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and then this thing explodes. You see how everything it was waiting for that piece of energy and caught it, and then that's when all the lines came in. The winds are howling right now. And this is going to be another thing too, this is going to be a tremendous onshore flow. You're going to have all kinds of coastal flooding at the Jersey Shore and the Delaware beaches and Long Island. You know, this verifies you're going to have all kinds of coastal flooding. All right, Carolinas. And there it goes. Then the winds turn more northeasterly and it pulls away. All right, let me see the snow on this thing and then I'll let you guys go. Okay, let's do Mid-Atlantic. All right, same thing. Even the AI, it has 1 to 3 inches of snow at the Jersey Shore. And it's got almost 6 in Ocean City, Maryland, 2.5 in Georgetown, and it's got about 3 inches in the Delaware beaches, just under an inch in Millville. Nothing on the I-95 corridor north and west. And then it's got this area here getting clobbered, 10 to 14 inches of snow, and then 4, 5, and 6 out here through most of North Carolina. So even the apes, the European AI is showing, you got to watch it. Because again, if this thing shifts even 50 miles to the northwest, which is nothing in the world of weather, then you're going to have some problems. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's what I wanted to show. As always, you guys can ask your questions, and I'll fire away, and actually, you know what, let's do, if you guys want to stick around, I'm going to answer as many as I can right now, because I got everything I needed to do done already, and I ate dinner. So, so that's what I'll do. Hold on, I'll answer a few questions. If you guys want to just fire away, go right ahead. Veronica said, "Hi, Chris. I always love snow up here, but you are making Florida look nicer by the day." And I hear that. It was funny. I woke up early this morning. The wind chills were in the 30s, and I stepped out on the lanai, and I was like, "Whoa!" No, I was in a t-shirt. You know what I mean? My pajamas, basically. But I was like, "Whoa!" Because I haven't felt that since Christmas break. I was up there for Christmas break in New Jersey visiting my family, but outside of that, I hadn't felt temperatures like that in over a year. All right, let's see. Any questions? Let me see if I can try to hunker down on some questions. Which track are you favoring as of now? Greg is asking. I'm leaning towards the European. All right. Remember, the European is the 1 to 3 inches of snow at the Jersey Shore. It tries to go up a little bit, but it's farther off the coast. That's the European solution. It's a less of an impactful storm for the Jersey Shore and the Delaware beaches. Still clobbers North Carolina, but less for the Jersey Shore and the Delaware beaches. That's which way I'm leaning right now. What's going to happen with the crops? The farmers are probably going crazy. That's what Shirley's saying. Shirley, that's what I was wondering, especially the citrus crop down here. I know they're up towards Orlando and, east of Tampa, and those areas are dropping down actual air temperatures into the 20s. I mean, it's going to get really cold. Pam says, kids fell in a pond that wasn't frozen and passed. Just heard that. Man, I said... That upsets me, Pam. Oh, gosh. This is what I was saying the other day. I would not jump on any ice until at least Wednesday. You just don't know that. One of the things that's really difficult, they'll tell you that ice needs to be at least 4 inches thick. At least 4 inches thick in order to walk on it. Well, how are you, as an average Joe, supposed to look at ice and say, okay, yeah, that's 4 inches thick. I think I'll walk on it. Like, it's why I don't like when they tell you that, because it's like, how are you ever supposed to know unless you take a stick and try to, jam it in the ice or try to step on a piece of it and you can't break it, but you don't know what's going on out, over the middle of the lake. You know what I mean? Okay. Nancy says, the Lehigh Valley schools are closed again. Wow, again? Good for you. You guys didn't really get snow days last year. You're going to get them now. Okay, are we getting hit again this weekend? We'll see, Brenda. It's going to be a close call. Right now, leaning towards most of it staying offshore, but we'll see. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much. Hi from Mays Landing. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Chris from Hatfield. Hi there. Let's see. No more snow. Lots of those. No more snow. I see another one. No more snow. Yeah, I know. Barbara says the Higbees used to watch for the ABC to come over the bridge and warn my grandpop. Okay. Are you talking about for fishing? I think that's what you're talking about. What summer will be like if this winter's been so cold? Jill, honestly, one thing really doesn't have much to do with the other. She's talking about makes you wonder what summer will be like given, the winter's so cold. One thing really doesn't have much to do with the other because it just depends on the pattern. This is a pattern. It's a negative QBO, weak La Nina, and so both of them usually favor when they're both together. The negative QBO in itself would have done the trick and got us cold. But then you put that weak La Nina in there too, and you get the kind of winter you're getting now. The La Nina is actually dissipating as I speak. It's all falling apart now. So whatever happens this summer is, it's overall, I mean, it could be hot this summer, but it's just overall, it's a different pattern. Let's see. Okay. So that'll be it. I'll try to get back to as many of these as I can when I'm done here. But I just want to say thanks for stopping by. We'll do this again tomorrow. Right now, again, just so I'm clear, I'm leaning towards the European, all right, with the more of an out-to-sea look. But that's still, even that scenario shows the Jersey Shore with 1 to 3 inches of snow Saturday into Sunday. Just nothing really in the city of Philadelphia, all right, or Baltimore, D.C. But again, Delmarva, Jersey Shore, Delaware beaches, both models, you're getting hit. So we gotta watch this, okay? You guys take care. I'll do another one of these tomorrow at 7:30. In the meantime, I'll keep posting updates, okay? See you guys. Stay warm.